start the meeting, and you won't quite write down and embarrass me to start the meeting. It's okay, it's always the summer sun or spring sun, whatever. Anyway, welcome everybody. So let's just get right to this. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we'll call all board members are present. And we're going to start this off with two extremely special recognitions. And the first one is going to be led by Deborah Hale, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, and Michelle Giovanazzi.
Good evening to everyone, our board members, Dr. Webb, our staff and community guests. I am very happy tonight to get to recognize Eisenhower Elementary. They are the recipient of a Washington State Achievement Award this year. I'm just smiling because you all, just near and dear to my heart, they have been honored with this award for all of their successful efforts in closing the achievement gap with our students with disabilities. So congratulations to Principal Jennifer Blechschmidt and that Eisenhower team.
I just wanted to say to our staff, this award is truly attributed to the hard work that you do and your commitment to kids every single day. This is the reason that we're getting this award. And there's an old principal over there, perhaps, that had a little bit of a stake in this award as well. So congratulations to all of you.
Good evening. I couldn't pass up the opportunity for Eisenhower Elementary to look for quotes from Dwight Eisenhower, and found a famous quote from former President Eisenhower, the namesake of the school, who said, "For every obstacle, there is a solution. Persistence is the key. The greatest mistake is giving up." That seemed particularly relevant to me for this opportunity. We are here tonight to recognize the Eisenhower Elementary team for not making a mistake and giving up, for doing the hard work needed to serve every student in Vancouver Public Schools. I would like to congratulate Jennifer Blechschmidt and her team at Eisenhower Elementary for winning the 2016 Washington Achievement Award. Eisenhower earned the statewide recognition for closing the achievement gap for students with disabilities. Not only did the team not give up, they conquered obstacles and persisted until they found solutions to the barriers faced by students with disabilities. As Vancouver Public Schools' mission states, they engaged and empowered every student to develop the knowledge and essential skills to become competent citizens. Thank you, Eisenhower Elementary team, for persisting to provide growth and opportunity for all students, regardless of need. On behalf of the board, I would like to congratulate you for winning this honor. Thanks for your work.
Well, congratulations. Closing an achievement gap is huge. Way to take the lead, Eisenhower. Okay, our next special recognition, which I won't intrude upon, I'll leave Mark Ray, Director of Innovation and Library Services, and Kathy Gillespie, handle the honors.
Members of the board, my friends on cabinet, and community members, I'd like to recognize tonight Traci Chun, teacher librarian at Skyview High School, who's been recognized by the International Society for Technology and Education, or ISTE, as an outstanding national secondary teacher librarian. Dr. Webb has coined the term ubiquitous leadership to describe the ways in which librarians and other educators can rise as leaders to help prepare future-ready grads. Traci qualifies under that definition. I'd also suggest that ubiquitous leadership can mean the ability to lead in many ways. A synonym is omnipresent leader, and Traci certainly qualifies in that way as well. In my TED Talk, my model hero of a future-ready librarian is Traci Chun. I described her philosophy, her actions, her leadership as an example of what a future-ready librarian can be. As future-ready librarians lead at the Alliance for Excellent Education, I am working with librarian and educational leaders across the United States. Our future-ready librarians framework includes many actions that librarians can take to lead, teach, and support future-ready students. Traci has done all of them. She represents everything that's great about the profession of teacher librarians and represents Vancouver Public Schools in the best possible way, and now at the national level. Congratulations, Traci.
so shy today. Normally it's a mad dash.
Thank you.
Well, I had an opportunity to see you in your workspace with the school board directors do visits to our different schools. We're paired with a administrative guide. Kim Tylen Carlson brought me to Skyview to see the work that you do there, and we looked at your makerspace. So, you know, these awards are a great opportunity sometimes to learn about things that aren't first nature to us. So I read a little bit about the modern librarian. And there's a blogger named Seth Godin, who you may know, and he posted a blog post about the future of the library, and he said that the librarian isn't a clerk who happens to work in a library. A librarian is a data hound, a guide, a Sherpa, and a teacher. The librarian is the interface between reams of data and the untrained but motivated user. So on behalf of the board, thank you so much for being our Sherpa and guiding our students. We thank you.
Okay, we're going to move to the student report. And you think you're going to go first?
Seems to be a tradition.
Do you want me to switch it up? Celeste. That's Bernstein, Arts and Academic. We got to change this one.
All right, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and community guests, my name is Celeste Bernstein, and I'm here from the Vancouver School of Arts and Academics, here to talk to you about what I think makes an amazing student. I think it is the following skills and attributes that really contribute to what makes an outstanding student, and those are ambition, passion, dedication, work ethic, communication, curiosity, and drive. I think all of these are what make a student distinguish between good and great and outstanding. So tonight I'd like to talk to you a little bit about 5 outstanding students in my school from each grade level. So this is Yeshi Berry. She is an outstanding freshman. I asked her to tell me what she's proud of this year for accomplishing. And she's proud of taking lead on projects in the first leadership class that we've had at VSAA. Proud of getting back into theater by taking physical theater this year, and finally getting on the advanced dance teams at her studio. This is Kate Campbell. She's the one in the middle smiling. She's proud of the AP classes she's taken. Additionally, she's proud of acting in a show called Houf, which raised $900 for the program at the Washington School for the Deaf. And finally, she is proud of being part of National Thespian Society and National Honor Society. This is Madison Ball and McKenna Wilcox, and they both recently won awards for their achievements in STEM from the AAUW. Maddie is on the left, and she won an award for technology, and McKenna won an award for math. They are both student athletes. McKenna swims with Columbia River, and this is Maddie's first year playing soccer. And finally, McKenna is on NHS, president of Red Cross, on the executive council for ASB, and taking several AP classes even at other schools. Finally, this is Max Zabel, an outstanding senior. He was accepted into all of the schools he applied for this year. He will be attending Cal Arts in the fall, and he recently just placed first place at the Skills USA State competition for digital cinema production. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful month.
Good afternoon, Dr. Webb, members of the board and community guests. My name is Janessa Higgs, and I'm here representing Vancouver iTech Preparatory. Tonight I'm going to be talking about community involvement at iTech and how iTech is involved with the community and vice versa. To start, I'm going to talk about how the community is involved with my school. So about 2 or 3 times a year we have demonstration of learnings where we invite students, their families, and other people from the community into our school, and we give them presentations on what we've been learning through the curriculum. We also have a somewhat large PTSA. We give public tours pretty regularly. We also have financial support and donors that help our school succeed. And we have a lot of publicity through newspapers, news, social media, and so forth. Now I'm going to talk about how iTech is involved in the community. So we have a lot of clubs at our school that volunteer and help other organizations in Vancouver. Some of these clubs include Key Club as well as National Honor Society. We also have DOLs, which I previously mentioned, as well as other community-based projects that we present. We have school board meetings, obviously, and internships. I actually did an internship my sophomore year at LSW Architects, and it was a great way for me to become more familiar with small businesses throughout the Vancouver area. And we also take college classes, both at Clark College through Running Start and WSUV as early as the age of 15. Thank you and have a great night.
Good evening, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and special guests. My name is Trisha Beavers, and I'm from Hudson's Bay High School. Tonight I'll be talking about the grads teen parent program at our school. I was asked tonight to speak about different programs and highlight a specific one that our school offers to students. And this one's kind of my favorite because I think it's really tremendous and impactful. And GRAD stands for Graduation, Reality, and Dual Role Skills. The Vancouver School District created this program it was developed for any pregnant or parenting high school student with the objective to help students remain in school and graduate while delaying subsequent pregnancies and developing skills for effective parenting and future success. So here's a few resources that this program offers to students. One, it offers childcare daily for children from the ages of 4 weeks to 3 years old, and it's taught by ECC specialists. It provides bus transportation to and from school for the student and their child. It has parenting and child development classes, and there's home tutoring after childbirth that's available. There's also case management that links students to community resources, maternity support services, prenatal education, career counseling for postgraduate plans, and a place to connect with other teen parents so it doesn't feel as lonely when you're going through this process. Recently, our program received a letter from a graduate of the class of 2005 from this program. Her name was Amanda Ellison, currently Amanda Malloy. And she says that everything I remember about the grads program felt like family. There were arguments, tears, celebration, and laughter. We learned about the real world in a way that most teenagers never do. Amanda is currently, her children are 6 and 11. She owns a business and she's happily married. So it's just wonderful to see that, this program can help girls who may not, have made it through high school get to be so successful in life. So with that, I thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and community guests. My name is Elizabeth Korn, representative from Fort Vancouver High School Center for International Studies, and I'm here tonight to talk about some unique programs at Fort that contribute to student success. So first off, iPads. I know many people who use them as coasters, many people who use them just in general because they love them. But iPads in classroom has played a huge role to our academics. They have allowed us to engage in learning in a more fun way while also providing us with the proper learning that we need. They also help students and teachers stay up to date with assignments, and it helps students work and excel at their own pace. After school homework help, this is run by our Gear Up administrators, Arlisa Hinton and Mr. Nate Morgan. So our after school homework help is can help students feel more confident in a certain subject area, and it's also a good way for students to kind of boost their grades and to feel a bit more confident, and also to interact and connect with their teachers and mentors. It's very rewarding seeing students grow inside the classrooms and actually enjoy being in the classroom and learning. So that's very rewarding to see. Our CTE courses, I've talked about this before. They help improve students' overall academic motivation. The CTE programs offer students content-rich programs containing with both academic and hands-on skills, which can prepare students for the real world. So our CTE courses such as welding, culinary and medical arts programs, these actually are CTE teachers. They kind of relate these courses to the real world, which I think makes education more meaningful. So I think that's very inspiring. Thank you and have a good night.
Good evening, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and community guests. My name is Grace Eversole, and I'm from Skyview High School. I'll be informing you today about classes or coursework at Skyview that are directly relevant to college. One of which is AVID, a readiness class at Skyview High School. The AVID's class goal is to close the achievement gap by preparing all students for college readiness and success in global society. They prepare students for college by giving students more rigorous content. For example, the teacher, instead of giving students an easy-to-read poem, might give them something harder to interpret or to understand, so the students must use analytical skills. Basically, it puts them under higher expectations in the class. Also, they learn effective note-taking strategies and study methods to create not just good habits, but effective ones. Lastly, AVID gets to go and visit colleges, and as you can see here, both are pictures in which AVID students are visiting different colleges. There are courses at Skyview that Skyview offers to gain college credits. In fact, there are 6 of them. Therefore, there's a potential of getting about 28 college credits. Once you get the credit, you can then transfer it to your university. For example, I have 10 college credits in math that I'll be transferring to Western Washington. And then in the classes, students work on college level material and have to take a college level final worth 20% of your grade. The 6 courses you can take are pre-calculus, mathematics 1 and 2, and there's also calculus 1 and 2, and there's English 101 and English 102. Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful week.
Good afternoon, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and community guests. My name is Julie Hayes, and tonight I'm representing Columbia River and talking about how both students and teachers use technology in our classes and ways technology can be further used to improve our education. So to start off with, I'm going to talk about how the teachers use technology. A lot of them like to put the agenda up on the board, so they'll put it on the computer and then project, kind of like I'm doing now with the PowerPoint. They'll also do a lot of PowerPoint lectures. This is kind of a typical thing where we'll sit, they'll talk, we'll take notes as they go through their slides. Some of them will use their dock cameras, like this one, to do practice problems. This is especially helpful in like math and chemistry, where some of them are more complicated, and it's really nice that everybody can easily see how the problem's being worked out. And then some of them will use online games and quizzes to speed up the grading process and just see how students are doing. For example, in Spanish, we'll do some quizzes, and that's a good way for him to track our progress, see if we actually know how to conjugate the verbs and the vocabulary. And then for student use, this is our 2nd year of having the iPads, which overall I think most people appreciate. They'll use them for notes or researching something real quick in the classroom. This year we got Microsoft 360 accounts tied to our student emails, which everybody has found really helpful, especially if they like Excel and PowerPoint and Word over some of the other word processing or spreadsheet apps. And this is available for all students, so it kind of helps those that may not have the resources that everybody else does. We also use a lot of technology in bio and chem labs. For example, we have these things called lab quests where we can connect a bunch of different probes like temperature, pressure, or spectrometers, which measure change in color, and they're really useful. It allows us to do some pretty cool labs that I find really enjoyable. Other ways technology is being used is in the photography and other multimedia classes. People get a lot of experience with Photoshop and other editing apps. And then finally, we have access to a lot of databases, which I personally find really useful for long history papers or times when we need to find pretty credible resources versus the sketchy online ones. And then for ways to improve classes with technology, I kind of just asked some of the people around me what they thought. They specifically said being able to print from our iPads versus going to the library to print, just because it's convenient and sometimes we don't have that much time to get to the library and quickly print something off. And maybe another suggestion was to make color printers a bit more accessible. For example, in bio, we'll have to print some of our labs in color, and that's hard for some of the students that don't necessarily have that resource. And then another suggestion was to open Wi-Fi for outside laptops for people that want to bring their own devices in, just because they're simply more comfortable with them. And then we're excited to continue to expand our computer science program. Next year we're going to be offering classes in Python, which everybody is pretty excited for. So just continue to expand that. That's it. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Amanda, sorry, anyone wants to speak with you? The answer is yes to that. Thank you very much. Okay, we have some speakers, so just to reiterate, it's 3 minutes, state your name, your address, you have 3 minutes to share your concerns with us. And if you have any written materials that you can't get to, hand it to us afterwards so we can deal with the whole topic. So, Peter Feld?
Can I use that?
Yes, please.
Good evening. My name is Peter Feld, and I'm a resident of the city. And my kids have graduated from Vancouver Public Schools. Fortunately, they're now out supporting themselves. They were successful as a result of Vancouver Public Schools, so we appreciate that. I know you've heard this idea before, but I want to express my support as a citizen and a resident of the school district, that the school district, in doing new construction, building new buildings, and adding to buildings as part of the bond measure that was recently passed, make sure that we do not use fossil fuels for heating and cooling the buildings. I am concerned about climate change, and I'm concerned about the future for my children, for the kids that were here a little bit earlier. I think there is no question, the science is clear, that if we do not do everything we can to avoid increasing the heat in the atmosphere, the life for those kids is going to be drastically different than what we face today and what we grew as adults, what we grew up with. I understand that at a past meeting, a question was raised whether Clark PUD would be able to provide enough electricity for heating and cooling if electricity was used as the source for that in the school district. And my understanding is that top management at the PUD has said there would not be a problem. So that you should feel comfortable with that. In closing, I just want to reiterate that this is an important idea. We have, people sometimes weigh short-term costs without considering long-term costs. And while it may in some cases be less expensive to use fossil fuels, in the long term, it's much more expensive to our environment and to our future. And I want to make sure that we keep the long term in view when you're considering your new construction. But thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Peter. So let me just say, one of my fellow board members reminded me, we actually don't respond to you here, but the superintendent will respond back with the appropriate people or things that are in the system. So anyway, with that said, let's move on to Dana Albrecht, who has the podium.
It's the first time we're doing this, excuse me. Good evening, Dr. Webb, members of the board, and community guests. I am here today to bring your attention to the needs of the Spanish Immersion Program. I am hopeful the letters sent last week to the superintendent were also copied to you, the board. The first class of Spanish Immersion students is 30 days away from being in 9th grade, considered high schoolers. To date, they have completed 8 years, 8 months, and a few days of classes that began being immersed in a language they knew nothing about. To summarize, as I stand here today, my daughter, who is sitting over there, is one of 8 left of the 50 original students that began 8 years ago. We're struggling, so we're hoping for your support. I'm going to throw this to the baseball analogy to summarize it. They were immersed, metaphorically speaking, a couple of years, K through 2 got them to first base. 3rd through 5th, that got them to second base. 6th through 8th grade, there were quite a few strikes thrown, swing and a miss on many occasions, but they fought their way to 3rd base. Now looking towards home plate, there's a pause, there's a big pause. They know home base should be there, but they can't see it yet. That's where you come in. If you continue to support the program, if you continue to deliver the funds needed, if you build it, they will come. We are hopeful that you will help us build it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Mark Evelyn? I've got it right. Is there a Mark Evelyn here?
Yeah,
Would you like to speak?
I'll pass tonight.
Pass?
I'm sorry, here to listen for that.
Okay. Whatever you like.
Thank you.
Matt Luttrell? Practice your public
I'm going to hold my hand. Dr. Webb, board. I'm Matt. I have 4 kids. My topic's the same with the Spanish immersion. I have 4 kids in the Spanish immersion from 6th grade down to kindergarten. And reiteration of Dana's lack of foresight of what's going on is my concern, and that been addressed. Seems to be closer a little bit at the district level, but not at the board level, and that's what I'm coming here to present.
Brenda Snyder, you get the podium. 3 whole minutes. You can song and dance and entertain us. How do you want to do that?
Dr. Webb and board, thank you for allowing us to come talk. My name is Brenda Snyder. I live at 7007 Topeka Lane. I'm here to support the Spanish immersion program as well. They are 100% committed. I would love to see it continue at Ford. I've heard that there's possibilities it might not. I think Ford would benefit in new ways from having the commitment and the dedication and the dynamic that these families have for this program. And to see that at Fort would help bring Fort to new levels, to new grouping, to grow, to bring the families that are there and connect everybody and just grow as one big school as it should be. I think Fort deserves that. I am an alumni from Fort, and I remember how it used to be, and that's how I want it to be. So, sorry, I'm a little passionate about it. So, help these guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. Thank you all. That concludes those that would like to speak to us today. So Dr. Well will respond accordingly. Now we're moving on to fun stuff now. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting.
Before you do that,
Yes.
any written correspondence just for the record?
Maybe. Okay. Was there any?
There is not, for the record, any written correspondence the board is not seeing.
I'm anxious to get out of here.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Got to do the right things. Okay, now approval. I need a motion to approve the minute from February 28, 2017 regular meeting, March 14, 2017 regular, March 28, 2017 regular meeting.
For approval?
Second, any discussions about the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's move on to consent. Can I get a motion for consent agenda?
That we approve the consent agenda is ready.
Okay. Seconded. Any discussion on consent? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, Dr. Webb, you're on.
First item of regular business is a recommendation to approve resolution number 779, authorizing the use of alternative public works project delivery method, GCCM, and the submission of a general contractor construction manager project approval application to the State Capital Projects Advisory Review Board. Washington State defines 3 public works project delivery methods for K-12 capital construction. The design bid build method is the traditional and most prevalent method used for design bidding and constructing new or remodeled schools. This method is the one used historically by Vancouver School District. The GCCM alternative public works project delivery method allows school districts to secure a general contractor early in the design process to provide cost and constructability input during the design phase. Following the design phase, the process provides for negotiating the maximum construction price with the contractor as an alternative to placing the project out to public bid. Individual GCCM projects must meet specific criteria and be approved by the State Capital Projects Advisory Review Board to authorize a school district to utilize the GCCM project delivery method. District staff and LSW architects have reviewed the GCCM project's requirement and believe that the McLaughlin-Marshall-Leaser project is an excellent candidate to utilize the alternative delivery method. The complexity of a multi-school development on one site combined with maintaining the McLaughlin and Marshall schools' operations during construction are 2 of the specific criteria in support of this process. Additionally, including a general contractor during the design phase will help address cost efficiencies of constructing multiple schools through careful phasing and staging and ensure maximum site safety throughout the project. The fund source is the Capital Project Fund for Consultant Services. It's a recommendation that the Board of Directors approve of the merits of the GCCM alternative project delivery method by approving resolution number 779, certifying the use of GCCM on the McLaughlin Middle School, Marshall Elementary School, and Leaser School projects, and authorize the submission of an application to the State Capital Projects Advisory Review Board for the GCCM project approval for the McLaughlin Middle School, Marshall Elementary School, and Leaser School capital project.
So we
That
have,
is a mouthful.
that is.
Yes.
So we have a recommendation from the superintendent. May I get a motion for this?
I move to approve resolution number 779.
Second.
Second, any discussion?
My question is, when will we hear on the application, whether we got it or not?
Todd?
May 25th.
This May.
This May 25th. We make our formal presentation before the board and then make a decision at that time.
Okay, and do you have any odds or feeling? And if no, I assume we've got a backup plan. We'll go to the normal way that we do it.
That would be our backup plan. All indication is, given preliminary conversations that Todd and LSW has had, is that we're going to be fine. Yeah.
Any other? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Dr. Woodman.
The next item of regular business is a recommendation to approve an agreement between the Vancouver School District and Harper, Houf, Peterson, Righellis, Inc., or HHPR, Vancouver, Washington, for civil engineering services. An agreement for civil engineering services with a local firm of HHPR is recommended for engineering work associated with pavement restoration work at Hudson's Bay High School, Skyview High School, and Geyser Middle School. Pavement restoration work at these sites are part of the 2017 bond-approved project. The scope of services required for the project includes the design and preparation of permit, bid, and construction documents for pavement repair and restoration. The fund source is the Capital Projects Fund. It's a recommendation that the Board of Directors approve an agreement with a firm of HHPR, Vancouver, Washington, for civil engineering services for the design for pavement restoration and repair at Hudson's Bay High School, Skyview High School, and Geyser Middle School in the amount of $189,815, and authorize the superintendent to execute the agreement document.
Okay, we have a recommendation from the superintendent. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? Any discussion?
Actually, this is a lot of work. It's a very good value for the money, looking over the contract and everything.
That's right.
So most people in the room probably know that this is work, these 3 items on this part of our agenda are related to the bond that our community supported. And so we've been on the ramp for a while, and they're pulling back on the throttle, and it's taking off. So just think about that every time we work on these, how grateful we are. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is work that's much needed. We've got to maintain this work.
Do these projects increase parking? Just replaced?
No, they just restore existing ones.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Dr. Webb?
The next item of regular business is a recommendation to approve an agreement between Vancouver School District and LSW Architects for architectural and engineering services. An agreement for architectural and engineering services with the local architectural firm of LSW Architects, Vancouver, Washington, is recommended for the design of iTech Preparatory School. The design and construction of iTech Preparatory is a 2017 bond-approved project. The proposed agreement contains the terms and conditions for said services, for the design and preparation of permit, bid, and construction documents. In general, the scope of work includes the design for a new facility located on the Washington State University Vancouver campus. The school will house approximately 700 students grades 6 through 12 with a focus on STEM education in an early college setting. Again, the fund source is the Capital Projects Fund. It's the recommendation that the Board of Directors approve an agreement with the firm of LSW Architects for design services of iTech Preparatory School in the amount of $2,571,639 for basic services and $927,000 for additional services as required, for a total amount of $3,498,639, and authorize the President and Secretary to execute the agreement document.
Okay, we have the recommendation from the superintendent, as he stated. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve.
Second? Okay, any discussion?
I just want to say for this particular project, we just heard that it's like a 15-month construction schedule with classes starting in December of 2019. So if that sounds fast to build a school that big, it is, because it's not, because the district has been working on this. In anticipation of the bond approving, there was a lot of preliminary work done to make this project get started immediately. So,
And the contract has been very well written, all 53 pages of it. And the other thing is that when the contracts committee met, also that the additional services may not come out to that figure. But we want to make sure that we are, in the ballpark, and that we are going to get this school built and we're going to get it on time. So it's been very, very well. Todd and his team have done a lot of work to get this school going this quickly, but we're going to get quality. Even though we're going to move quickly on it, we're going to get quality because of all the preparatory work that's
On time, under budget, correct?
So far, right?
All right.
Okay, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Dr. Webb?
The last item of regular business is a recommendation to conduct a first reading to adopt new policy 7900 post-issuance compliance for governmental bonds in the 7000 series new construction. This post-issuance compliance policy addresses the district's compliance with federal tax, federal securities, and state law requirements and contractual obligations applicable to the district's tax advantage governmental bond issues. This policy applies generally to all of the district's tax-exempt governmental bonds and other bonds subject to comparable requirements such as taxable Build America bonds issued under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. As used in this policy, references to bonds include bonds, lines of credit, bond anticipation notes, and equipment and other financing leases. Unless you have questions or comments, we'll waive the reading and bring this back to you for board consideration on May 23rd.
Any concerns, objections? Okay.
But,
Excuse me?
it's kind of a duh policy.
Right.
We want to be in compliance, we want to have these reviews to make sure we're in compliance. So we've operated for a lot
And
of
that
years,
from
not
the,
just policy.
and that from the attorney.
Yeah,
Yes.
just to say it in writing.
Yes.
All right, well, that concludes our regular business, so we're down to the superintendent and board of directors comments.
No superintendent's report tonight?
Fellow board members, concerns, wisdom to share? All right, we are going to recess to an executive session for about 30 minutes with no action to follow and discuss the performance of a public employee.